You guys, we made it to Friday. I'm so happy.
I actually was not sure it was going to happen.
Me too, Mary. Yep. Me too. Katherine, we're excited to have you here. What have you been doing since you've been here?
Thanks, Meg. Thanks, Mary Cheatham, for having me. It's been great. My girls and my husband and I have been down here for almost 2 weeks, and my kids have had a blast with their cousins, and I have been trying to keep motivation going to work remotely, which has been hard, but it's been good.
Good. Have you gone down to Big Rock or anything like that? Gone out to eat?
Yes, we've gotten Promised Land takeout a few times. I had lunch there yesterday, and we had Silver Line ice cream and saw the boats. Took the girls down there last weekend. It's been great. So.
Amazing. Well, I always forget about Silver Line for ice cream. Do you ever go there, Mary?
Yes.
It's so good.
I always forget.
Yes, I got some cookies and cream.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, it looks like people have started to hop on. I know everyone watching is really excited, and I'm certainly excited to be in the same room with you guys. This is so fun. So, Mary Cheatham, will you please introduce our special guest for today?
Absolutely. And I think I should start by saying that Katherine and I are trying to not turn our heads and look at each other, because apparently when we do that, then our voices don't come into the screen. So we're doing this weird like side eye thing where we're like, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, just so y'all know, we know it's weird, and we know we're doing it, but it's what we got to do, y'all. So this is my younger sister, Katherine Duncan Warfield, and Katherine lives in Charlotte. She has 2 precious little girls, Millie and Lucy, and she's married to my wonderful brother-in-law, Scott. And Katherine is a senior vice president at the Foundation for the Carolinas in Charlotte, which is the 6th largest community foundation in the U.S., and they manage $2.4 billion in assets for their clients. So really pretty amazing. And, I just was saying to Megan, sometimes we feel like that our job, it's different. I mean, we end up doing all kinds of weird things. And I feel like that sometimes Katherine's stories are also just good, kind of just never a dull moment kind of things, right? Always a good story to tell. So anyway, I'm just really excited to have Katherine here, and we're going to talk a little bit about some financial stuff. And Meg, I know that you have been sweet, and I'm not sure that anybody really wants to hear about anything about our childhood, but we're happy to talk about it.
I know, Dad. I am so excited, and I know your parents are watching, and they've got to be just so proud. Because you made it on Coffee with MC. What more could you want?
My summer is over.
The pinnacle.
It's over.
She's made it.
I know. Well, Katherine, will you tell us a little bit more about your role at Foundation for the Carolinas, just so everyone can be filled in?
Absolutely. One, thank you. Thank you, Cheetah, for having me today, otherwise known as Mary Cheatham, also known as my realtor, my wonderful realtor. Thank you, MCKRE. And so glad to be here. This has been such a treat. I think there's been so much change the last 12, 14 weeks, things that weren't expected, trying to figure out how to, find the joy. And I know Mary Cheatham's been doing that with a lot of her Facebook posts and videos. And I think one of the things that I've been grateful for is the chance to be down here, because without the being forced into working from home like we all have been, I wouldn't have thought my family could come and spend 2 weeks down here. And having that time has been such a blessing. So I'm really grateful for everybody down here, and it's fun to be on the Crystal Coast. So thank you. So I have the privilege of serving as Senior Vice President for Foundation for the Carolinas. As Mary Cheatham said, it is a community foundation, not something a lot of people know about, but community foundations are nonprofits that typically serve donors and nonprofits in a specific geographic area. So Charlotte and the surrounding counties. And so in my role, I get to work with individuals, families, companies, nonprofits, financial advisors to help people really do more philanthropically in whatever that takes. So as Mary said, it could be everything from I'm selling a business, or I'm, structuring my legacy, or I want to engage my children, or I have this weird asset that I want to figure out a way to get it, give it away. And it's really fun to be in, just like Mary Cheatham is, I'm also in problem solving, right? Helping people figure out what it is that they want to be doing and how to best structure that. So it's a real joy.
That's really neat. And it sounds like, I bet you don't have 2 days that are the same. So we enjoy that about real estate. So I'm sure
That's right. That's right.
So Katherine, as a certified financial planner, I know a lot of folks, and I know I'm curious, what are some tips that you use in your own personal life that other folks could use as well?
Absolutely. So that's a fun question. I got my CFP, or Certified Financial Planner certification, about halfway through my career at Foundation for the Carolinas. I'm not in a position to write financial plans, but being able to speak that lingo helps me do my job better, because it is so technical at times. And so it was fun to do that for myself, because I learned so much from my own family and my own planning. So it sort of forced me into probably what is my first piece of advice for anybody, especially women, which is get educated, figure it out yourself, because the reality is, we're going to live longer, and women are typically making their household decisions. That's just the reality, whether it relates to expenses, charitable planning, whatever, real estate. That the truth is they are. And so, sitting on the sidelines really shouldn't be an option.
I just want to sidebar. I would love to hear what Scott and Chip would say about the women in the family making the household decisions.
Scott would say absolutely.
Let's not ask them.
No.
That would be a diatribe. Okay.
Right. That's right. That's one. It's just get educated in whatever form, right? And I mean, for me, it wasn't about, picking stocks and bonds and investing. It was just sort of understanding the basics.
Yeah.
So another piece of advice, I listened to this. I went to a conference and heard this guy speak one time, and I've never forgotten it. His biggest piece of advice to a room full of financial planners was to tell their clients to beware of mental accounting.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all ever do mental accounting. So that would be like, I got my I got a refund from filing my taxes. It's free money. You're mental accounting, because you're putting that money in a bucket as though, you can spend it differently, and not thinking about that in the context of your whole, sort of financial circumstance.
That's
so
good.
I'll save money here so I can do it there.
Oh my God, but this is actually one of my best life skills.
I know. So I felt like he was talking to me.
Right.
Like he was like, Katherine, beware, do not practice mental accounting.
There's got to be a better
in your mind, you have like little buckets, and as opposed to thinking about holistically and strategically.
I didn't know there was a term for that.
I know, I don't either.
I'm kind of sad about it. I kind of wish I hadn't heard that.
I know. You can ignore that one.
Okay.
And then another thing, I feel like this is good practice again for anybody, especially because we might give some advice for sort of younger women in their careers later on in this. And I think another good piece of advice is just participate in forced savings. I mean, it's so easy. Max out your 401k, make one extra principal payment on your mortgage a year. Do 529s for your kids. When you get a position, look at that and increase it as much as you can. It's just a good practice, because if you start your career doing that, you won't know any different.
Sure.
And so and I think that was something certainly that, we learned, from our parents. I mean, I remember doing that, thinking, okay, well, of course this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do whatever the maximum amount is, and it was a maximum amount of not very much. But it's important, again, just to start that process. So.
Yeah, I love that. Those are all good tips. I hope folks have their pens and papers writing this down.
Those are good.
We'll post them in the comments below, though, a little bit later, so folks can go back and read them. But Katherine, you brought up women specifically, and of course those rules can apply to anyone, but I really am curious. I have two powerful women right in front of me at my fingertips, and I'm just curious. I kind of want to go into the females in leadership topic, and I know folks watching are curious too. A lot of folks know the basics about what makes up a good leader, and I'm curious if you guys could go into, both of you, what you guys have found to be kind of unexpected characteristics that you found in your leadership roles.
God, I mean, I think, Meg, that for me, I think that you'll agree, one of the things that I do, I'm not sure how much confidence it instills, but I am very clear that I don't always have the answers.
Sure.
So I think that's something that's a little bit unexpected, because I think when I before I got into this role, I think I kind of thought that people who were in leadership positions certainly knew what they were doing. And there's at least a couple of times every day when I think, I'm not really sure the answer to this, right? So, let's figure it out. And I think that that's something that I have found that you guys, that you guys really are so gracious about and so great about. And I hope, my intention is to say, hey, let's figure this out together, because you guys are such an integral part of what we're doing. If you run a team and you have a team, which I know Katherine does also, you know, when you're collaborating with people, I think it's so great to say, no, really, I really want to know what you think. And because you might have an idea, you are going to have an idea that I've never thought of. And especially if it relates to your role and your corner of this thing that we're building together, you're going to have much better ideas than I am.
Sure.
So let's sit down and talk about it. So I think that's kind of been my biggest discovery is I don't have to have it figured out. I don't have to sit down and figure everything out and then come to my people and say, hey, here's what we're going to do. It's more, hey, here's a problem. Here's one possible solution I thought of. What have you guys thought of? We did that this morning, Meg. I mean, we did that already this morning. Yeah.
And I think the thing that you do so well is, yes, you don't know all the answers. No one knows all the answers. But the thing I think that makes you a really strong leader is the fact that you come with a solution or a way to find out an answer. So I think that's a really important aspect of any leader is not just, it's okay to not know the answers, but also try and come up with a solution to help aid it.
And I think what you're saying is really important because we talked about this in previous Coffee with MCs. But, you know, when you talk about leadership, we talked about this with Jordan last week. It's not that you have to lead other people.
Right.
You're a leader of yourself. You're a leader of your family. You lead at times with your friends. You lead. There are times when we find ourselves in leadership roles that we don't, you know, no one deemed us the leader. It just is kind of the way that it worked out. And even if it's just yourself. So I think that's so huge, Meg, to think about. That's a thing that we really do in our organization is we say, there are going to be problems. Heavens to Betsy, we are problem solvers. And so if you have a problem, at least bring a solution. It doesn't have to be the solution, but come with the solution. So I love that. I think that's so good. And that's something that everybody on our team is so great at. It's part of our culture.
Yeah, I agree.
So I love that. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that's absolutely right. I thought that was really powerful what Jordan said last week about you know, first and foremost being a leader yourself and choosing how you respond. And I even found saying that a lot of times to my kids now as they're getting older. And I remember mom saying this too, you know, you can make mistakes, you can make mistakes. It's what you do with that and how you react that, you know, that really informs who you are. And I think as far as, you know, you be direct, hold people accountable, create a shared vision, all of those things like you're saying, those are the basics.
Yeah.
I think like Mary Cheatham, I admit a lot of times I'm surrounded by people that are way smarter than me, you know, so if my job is to help us move in the right direction, then that is a role that I'm privileged to play. I joke too, my team knows two things I often say that probably get me into trouble, but it is who I am. I'm a chronic oversharer and I have chronic oversharer and I have a low threshold for humiliation, which is true. So which means, and in a sales environment, this is good. Because I overshare with my team because I feel like bringing people into the fold is really important to create a sense of team. And I have a low threshold for humiliation because I'm not afraid to admit what I don't know. And I'm not afraid to ask again or ask for clarification or ask for confirmation or follow up, you know. And so I think, you know, for me, those are important leaderships that are true to who I am. They mean, of course, there's no one size fits all approach, right? But
Sure.
That's been helpful for me.
Yeah, I think you just kind of put a name to what Mary Cheatham touched on too, a low threshold for humility. Is that what you said? Oh, humiliation.
So I said humiliation. Yeah. Humility. Yeah. That's all what I said humiliation. I mean, like, I ain't afraid to ask again. I'm like, somebody will say, well,
I love that.
I'm like, oh, I'll call that person. They said, we're never going to get that business. I'm like, I don't care.
Sure.
I'll try. All the worst somebody can do is tell me no.
Yeah, I see that in you too, Mary Cheatham. And I think, wow, this is, I just see so many similarities between the two of you, even through a computer screen. So I love those answers. And Katherine, you touch a little bit on your parents and your mom. Do you guys mind kind of going back and kind of diving in? What are some lessons that your parents taught you that you guys still keep with you today?
Me to go first?
Yeah.
And we should also say they are absolutely watching. We're very grateful that they're watching.
I'm nervous.
And by the way, they had
happy anniversary.
I was going to say,
yeah,
they had celebrated I had to confirm, it's the 46th wedding anniversary on Wednesday.
Happy anniversary.
No, Wednesday. And so June 10th. So happy anniversary. And to mom and dad. And yeah, you know, I think we, I don't, you know, what a good mixture. I don't know what the secret sauce was, but I'm very grateful to what they did for us growing up. I think good combination of really teaching us to care about other people, teaching us to, you know, admit fault, teaching us to, you know, support community. I think one of the things we were talking about too, they had, one of the things that's been meaningful for me was that they exposed us to really strong adult relationships that weren't our parents.
I love that.
And this was one of those things where, as now with my kids, I'm thinking, okay, who can I set you up with? Really, they even thinking about long-term as mentors. But for us, it was family friends, right? So whenever little kids come up and call me Mrs. Warfield, I say, I'm going to let you in on a secret. If we're good friends, you get to call me Katherine. And we're good friends, so you get to call me Katherine. You know, I'm like, I don't want to mess up their manners, but I think this idea of building relationships with people that are different age and stage of life as you it just sets people up for success later, I think. So I really appreciate that. You know, and just, God, so many positive things.
No, but I think that's so good. I think that is, I mean, I had never thought about that. Katherine pointed that out about having, you know, being friends with, you know, family friends and being able to talk to adults when we were little and that sort of thing, and feel safe and comfortable. And I don't know, I think that was big. I think, you know, I think one of the things where my dad excels is that my dad specifically is a great apologizer. He's a great, you know, like he was always the one where if we got in trouble, I mean, we could have been terrors. We were terrible. And then we would get in trouble and then he would come back and apologize to us because he would feel like he was too hard on us. I mean, he did. You know, and so I think really, really teaching you to say, you know, you can say what you need to say and then sometimes, you know, you do owe somebody an apology, and it's great to be able to go back and say, hey, I'm sorry, and immediately mend that. There's no reason to carry a grudge or to let it, you know, seep into everywhere. Just say what you need to say and move on. And if you owe somebody an apology, then say it.
Yeah.
And I think that mom, you know, I think mom, as far as people are concerned, you know, just really, really, mom is a great people person. I mean, you know, she is a great entertainer. She's an epic entertainer. I did not get that. I think Katherine definitely got that more than I did. But, you know, just a cook and a warm and just, you know, there were always people in and out of our house, right. Which I think, again, goes back to, you know, kind of, you know, there's always something delicious to eat and always people there to talk to. And so I don't know. I think that is something, the people part of it, I think is big.
And think about those two things in the context of the question you just asked, Meg. So think about admitting what you don't know, apologizing, you know, letting people into the fact that you're human, and how that translates into leadership. And then think about what it means to make other people feel special, because that's what we learned from her. You know,
that's right.
It's to go, you know, really above and beyond always. You know, it's somebody's birthday, it's somebody special. You know, it's somebody is hurting, somebody is sick, you know, somebody's having a bad day. It's about making them feel supported at whatever cost. And that is absolutely, you know, and that is just about kindness. You know, and that translates to the workplace.
I think it does. And again, I think Katherine definitely got that way more than I did. I mean, you know, she's kind of the she's like the softer, kinder.
Stop.
Yeah, it's true. Just ask my husband. Oh my God, that would be so fun if we had the husbands on here. That'd be really good.
That would be good.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay, well, I love that. And while we're on the advice train, I know a lot of folks, Katherine and Charlotte and here, just went through high school, college graduations. They might have been a little different than what they were expecting, but I'm curious if you guys have any advice or words of wisdom from you guys, two leaders, for those people moving on to whatever they're doing in their next step.
Yeah. You want to do yours?
Yeah.
Ours? Should we say it together?
No. We have major advice.
This is for people who've already graduated. Oh, you're talking about graduated high school.
So people who are going to college, we have some major advice. We were like high functioning nerds in college.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we both had a lot of fun in college. Let it be known. And you know what we did? We went to class. That's all you got to do. That's really, right. People just go to class.
Half of it happens just by osmosis.
Yeah, I mean, it just seeps in.
That's
it
right.
just seeps in.
That's
but
right.
if you just go to class and take notes, I mean, that is the biggest thing I say to anybody who'll listen to me who's going to college is don't think that you can just skate by not going to class, because it just catches up to you. Yeah. So then, you know, maybe don't sign up for the 8 a.m. You know, I mean, right. just, you know, figure it out. But that's I mean, right. You know, by 9:30 you should be just fine.
Yep.
And you know, go and take notes. That's not
you got the stomach.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think, and that also goes back to engage with your professor, engage with the person who's teaching the class, your TA, whoever it is. I mean, create a relationship, because it does matter.
It does. Did they tell us to do that? Because I remember doing that. I remember like trudging off to the writing center at Chapel Hill and thinking, well, it's there. it's available. I might as well go have them proofread my paper. And I'm pretty sure everyone remembers said, there's a what? There's a writing system?
Oh yeah.
You know, or
yeah.
you know, you had that sort of, that with your professor, I can remember, like you took on that extra project. I mean, you know, just taking advantage of, I mean, really that's just life lessons, right? Take advantage of the opportunities if you have them, engage with people, learn what they do. I will say, I don't feel like I did enough of that leaving college, was to really understand what my options were, you know, and also taking some time to, frankly, you know, I do wish I'd taken some time to travel or do something, just because then you start working and you feel this need to start working. And then all of a sudden you realize it's never going to be another good time, you know?
That's true. That's true.
And I so agree with the just show up and go to class and stuff, because I think the whole thing is in college, a lot of college kids, I probably was like this too. They have that mentality sometimes of like, oh, I'm just going to do the cool thing. And sometimes the cool thing isn't going and sitting in the front row of class or going to the writing center or whatever.
Yeah,
so do what's best for your future. Because I mean, college molds you for your adult life. I mean, there's so many things that I'm so glad I did in college and upset I didn't do in college that I wish I did. So don't do the thing that people think are cool. That's so cliche, but what's best for you?
I think that's so good. I love that.
Yeah.
Show up.
And show up. Isn't that's I guess that's really what we're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think also another thing that we didn't touch on earlier that has, I think, helped both of us in terms of feeling comfortable, you know, communicating with all different types of people is, you know what, grammar matters. And being able to write properly. I mean, I not that I don't make grammatical mistakes all the time, I certainly do, but I am aware, and I do try to think about,
absolutely,
you know, the words that I choose and the way I write, and I think that matters. And I get worried that that's something that people, you know, I'm constantly correcting my kids' grammar, and I know that they absolutely hate it, but I'm telling you, I'm doing them a big favor, because I don't like doing it either, but they need to be able to speak properly, for heaven's sakes.
Absolutely. And that was something important for both our parents.
Yes,
you know?
yes, especially our dad. Hey, Dad.
I love that.
He will still correct. I will still flat out send my dad like an email or a Meg knows. I mean, I'll say, let me send this to my dad for his edits.
Excellent proofreader.
Yes.
He is. Well, again, speaking of family, I have one more question for you guys before the fun questions at the end. But I know you guys both have adorable daughters. Katherine, you have Millie and Lucy, and they're a little bit younger than Sally, Mary Cheatham's. But I'm curious, and I don't want to get emotional, but I'm curious what you guys hope that they see in you as role models, not necessarily just their moms, but as strong females in their life.
I mean, you know, Sally at 13 is at an age now where she doesn't need my help physically to do all kinds of things, which I've loved being with Millie and Lucy, you know, because they'll still look. I mean, I braided Lucy's hair last night. It was delightful. But you know, I think that you know, one of the things honestly that I worry about all the time is that, you know, I work a lot, and so I worry, you know, especially with Sally at home, and it's hard. She'll come in here at, you know, 2:00 into my office. This is where we are right now, is my little home office, and she'll come in and, you know, want to talk about platform shoes. I don't know. I mean, you know, she'll want to talk about something that's very.
She made it clear she did not want to talk. She used this as an example the other day, and it's always like, I have never asked you about platforms. So you needed an example. She
did. But anyway, so my point is, you know, I think that Meg, I think that what you're hitting on is something that, you know, it does make me emotional, because it is a work in progress for me, right? You know, and I'm cognizant every day, and I'm not great at it, that the work that we do, the work that anyone does, it's hard to shut off. I know that you feel the same way, Meg. You know, it's hard because we want to do the very best for our clients and for the people who are counting on us, but also, you know, our girls and Walter, I mean, our kids are counting on us too. So I hope that what she sees is that I am trying to strike a balance. And I honestly, I think most days I'm failing miserably, but I hope that she sees that I'm trying, and that, you know, and that you can be, you know, you can be real, and you can be vulnerable, and you can say, hey, I'm so sorry. I should have talked to you about the platform shoes when you wanted to talk about them.
There's an apology from you.
You know, I mean, that sort of thing. So that's exactly right.
Right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sally. We'll tell her after this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's right. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. And I think in my mind, it's, you know, making sure that you're setting an example, that they understand that there's not one size fits all approach, right? And that you can have a lot of different paths, and that I'm showing them one of them, but that there's a lot, you know. And I also just think it's important that, I had a conversation with a friend recently and we were talking, she has a daughter, and we were saying, what's the best we can hope for, basically, in terms of how we make them feel. And she said, I really just want to make sure that they feel seen and that they feel heard.
It's good.
It especially relates to girls, right? To girls and to women, right? I mean, and I don't, that's important, right? Although I think it's a right everybody deserves to be seen and heard. I just want to raise children in a way that they see that modeled and that they understand that every person deserves to be seen and heard, right? And so, especially women, because I think finding their voice is increasingly important. So, that's all I can hope for in terms of setting a good role model.
Yeah, well, I think I speak for a lot of people. I don't know how you guys do this. I mean, I don't have kids yet. I will one day. I have a dog, and it's hard with the dogs. You guys are doing it with so much grace, and it's just really cool to watch. Katherine, I know I just met you, but if you're anything like Mary Cheatham, you're a great parenting role model as well as a lady boss. So,
love that.
Woo. That's kind, and I think that when I think you saying that we do it with grace. I think the key to that is that our families show us a lot of grace. Mm-hmm. I know my husband shows me a ton of grace. It's not easy, and my kids do too. And they So I'm just it takes a lot of that on all from them in order to make it look like you're doing it gracefully at all.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Well, we have kind of some wrap up questions, and I want to play a really fun game with you guys. So I'm going to ask you a question, and what you're going to do is either point to yourself if it applies to you, or point to the other person if it applies to them. So for example, who is the funniest? And then you guys would point to yourself or to the other person. So we'll see if you guys are on the same page with things, or we'll see if you differ in some opinions. Okay. Are you ready? Get those pointing.
You need to put your cup down.
Oh yeah.
I can see some spilling happening.
Spill on me.
All right. First question. Who is the better dancer at a wedding? Katherine. Okay. I love that. Number 2.
About my little shoulder wiggle? That was good.
Maybe we leave that to Katherine. No, I'm just
That's exactly right.
Number 2, who has the biggest appetite? Really? Okay, now who has the healthiest appetite?
I think it's you.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Okay, wait, Katherine. Okay, what do you eat for breakfast? I'm curious.
We usually make smoothies. Although that's not a good.
I mean,
what you eat for breakfast tells a lot about how healthy you are. That's awesome. Okay.
Or a little time you have in the morning when you're rushing out the door.
True, very true. Number 4, who has the best singing voice? What?
She also knows all the words to every song. It was so annoying.
You really do, Mary Cheatham. But also, I heard that you guys...
She enunciates them so that you know that she knows all the words.
Like, listen.
By best, do you mean loudest singing voice?
Yes. Well, I heard you guys sang a song at a wedding together.
We did. It was actually my wedding. Thank you for asking. Growing up, Mom and Dad would always get us to perform the song Sisters from the movie White Christmas. Mm-hmm. Do you know it?
Can we have a tiny taste?
Okay, we can just do a little bit. It goes, sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters. Mm-hmm. And so on.
Yes, that's right. Although now my girl,
ever.
I came in the other day and Millie was watching White Christmas on Netflix. She's 6, and it's June.
It's that good though.
It is.
It is that good.
Wow, yeah. That's amazing. Thank you for that. Now, who of you was the most likely to get grounded growing up?
I think it probably was me, but that's because Katherine was sneakier than me. I do not have a filter. I don't have I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I would say, this is what I did.
My parents were tired by the time, I was my turn to get in trouble.
Also, Katherine was the perfect,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that statement.
Okay, next question. Who is more likely to end up lost?
Oh, me.
Okay, I can.
Our driveway, too. Which way?
Oh, that was the big joke growing up. Seriously,
to the gas station?
Right.
It's that way.
Which way?
Oh my Lord.
Which way do I turn?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, the most money conscious sibling. I can understand that.
Katherine is famous for it. She's got mad skills, mad saving skills.
I love it. I need you to rub off on me a little bit. Who is more stubborn?
Stubborn?
Mm-hmm.
Easy for you? I don't know. We can both be pretty stubborn.
Okay, so that's a split decision.
Catherine is stubborn in a less obvious way. I'm stubborn in a more
a sneaky stubborn.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's stubborn in a more polished way, so that you're not really even sure what's happening. You just know that you're going to do it her way.
You know, some people call that passive aggressive. Nobody I know, but
that is funny. Okay, last two. Who takes longer to get ready in the morning?
I think it's me.
Okay.
Although I will say,
we're both like really fast.
I was gonna say we don't. Neither one of us takes very long to get ready because we don't. I mean, there's just not a whole lot
Stuff to do.
There's not a whole lot happening over here, but yes, Catherine's lightning fast.
Wow, you should time me though.
That's true. There were a lot of drills growing up, a lot of stopwatch drills.
No way.
I thought it was fun, and really, I think she was just making fun.
I think really, I just didn't want you to use all the hot water.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's genius.
Thank you. Diabolical. Yeah, that's me.
I'm not sure.
And then and then the final question I'm curious about is, who is most likely to be a best-selling author?
Ooh. I think we're going to go on the road together.
I know.
Okay, tell me.
I don't think either one of us are going to be best-selling authors, but we did at one point. I mean, we were serious about it. It just fizzled. I don't know why. But we were going to write a book that was specifically targeted to folks who were just entering into the adult world, you know, graduates. And it was going to be called, tell them what it was going to be called.
Wait, what?
That was the name of the book.
No, but then the next tagline was, wait, what? And then sub what do we call it?
Subtitle.
Nobody ever told me that.
Yeah. Wait,
nobody ever told me that.
Because there are so many things. Like about taxes. You got to pay them.
Yeah.
You know, here's kind of what you can expect on that front. Or
Dad forgot to tell me I was supposed to change my oil.
You got to change the oil in your car.
You know, as many life skills as he gave me, I needed a little bit of a roadmap.
Yeah.
For all of the little things. So
that's right.
Things I know he tells you.
Did you know that if your toilet overflows, that there's this thing, this like nozzle thing that's at the back of the base that you can turn the water off?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Changer?
Yeah.
Tell me that.
What about this is how you correctly respond to a wedding invitation?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Remember when they started coming? How many times I had to call mom and say, "One more time"?
Right. That's right.
What does M?
Regretfully declines the kind invitation of yeah. You know, I mean, you know, just
yeah.
I mean, it was gonna
outline.
It was gonna be a bestseller.
I vote that you guys should still write this.
Yeah.
I like it.
I would support it 100%.
All right.
I love that.
Be our editor.
You know, yeah. Although now I think people would just Google it.
Yeah. Or there were probably already 10 books.
But what a great graduation gift.
That's right.
Would be
That's
so
right.
cute. Okay, well, we'll keep everyone updated on the status.
That's exactly right. We'll send you all the Amazon link when it comes out.
Perfect. All right, y'all. Well, we have one final wrap-up question that we ask all of our guests here on Coffee with MC, and I want to ask both Katherine and Mary Cheatham, what is saving y'all's life today?
Okay. So, you know, mine really has just been having the Warfields here for these last couple of weeks. So they've been staying at my parents' condo. So it's been great because, you know, they've had a space to work and the kids have all been sharing a babysitter and have really been spending a lot of time together during the day, which has been awesome. And just kind of to see them, there's a big age difference, right? Because Sally and Walter are 13 and 10 and Millie and Lucy are 6 and 3. And so, you know, big age difference, but it's really been so dear to kind of see them get to spend. I mean, when do they ever get to spend that much time together?
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, mine would be a combo split of Mary Cheatham and Abby.
That's exactly right. Abby's been our babysitter, and she's the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the combo, it's a split tie between Mary Cheatham for having us and having us over for dinners and having me here, and Abby for making my kids have so much fun with Sally and Walter, and allowing us to actually be here and continue to work. So it's been great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I don't have a sibling myself, so it's really cool just to see how close you guys stay, even though you don't live in the same area. I just think that's so cool. So thank you guys so much for being here. Mary Cheatham, you're usually the one saying thank you, but we want to thank you for being here too.
Thank
well,
you.
again,
you did a great job.
Yeah.
This is fun, and
it really was fun. I don't know. Yeah, I hope that that there's something in here that speaks
right.
to folks. But that, you know what? At the very least, we know that mom and dad.
That's
have
right.
enjoyed
That's
it.
right.
So thank mom and dad.
Have a great rest of your day.
Oh my gosh, that is good. Well, you guys are role models for so many, not just your daughters, but for the folks that work with you and the folks that you guys serve. So thank you both so much for everything, and I will see you guys soon.
Sounds
Thanks,
great.
Meg.
Have a great
Bye, y'all.
Friday.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Meg.